Hi guys, ArchieLuxury, and who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? DavidSW, DavidSW, DavidSW. Go to DavidSW.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. DavidSW, DavidSW, DavidSW. Hi guys, it's your Pontiff, Archibald Chesterfield III on the Paul Pluta channel. Guys, I'm doing a paid review, and this one here is 21QB17. 21QB17 quick wristwatch check. I'm wearing a Z Blue. Let's jump in. This is for C4. Let's jump straight in. Hey Arch, love the show, have been watching for years. And you never disappoint. You and I correspond several times over the years and check in with your videos most nights while doing the dishes. Anyways, I need your expert help, Arch. This isn't your simple review. It's a high-stakes acquisition suited for the lives of the rich and famous, not yours truly. I need a review, guidance, and a new purchase, guidance on a new purchase to contemplate. I think it means complete the collection, and a possible high-end trade in which for me and most people would be for a grail. Here is the context. The collection began in 1996 when I was 15 years old. I received my first love, which I still have to this day, a Breitling Shark, a gift from my dad, so extra special. This is not in the box, but it got me started, and I would be remiss to not mention it. I still own it, and it's amazing. I wear it from time to time. Then in 2003, as a gift to myself, I chose a Breitling Chronomat as a present for completing the CPA program. That's a pretty difficult program. I love this watch as it came on the beautiful polished steel bracelet with the second small GMT time zone. Okie dokie. In 2005, I received the Breitling. 2005, he received the Breitling Montbrilliant as a wedding gift from my beloved. This would ultimately wrap up my Breitling collection. Before this time, you must understand, I don't want anything to do with any other watch brand. Bruce Willis had one, Tom Cruise had one, and the coolest guy of all had one, my dad. Thus, I greatly valued them as well. But after this one, I was ready to move on to different things. Yes, indeed. Not quite a long hiatus, and many things successfully navigating the workforce. In 2015, I purchased an IWC Pilot Top Gun chronograph. This watch was the coolest thing I'd ever put on my wrist at the time. It's big, it's manly, it's athletic. It was the watch in one of the Bourne movies. Just cool. Flyback chrono, big format, so it doubles as a clock on your desk when you take it off. Too cool. There's actually an awesome scene in the Bourne Legacy that celebrates the watch. No charge for that random fact. In 2017, after discovering the Pontiff's channel, I bought a Rolex, a 116710 BLNR Batman. I must admit that I never saw myself as a Rolex guy. I thought Rolex had a type and it wasn't me. Wrong. Once I discovered this watch, I was a convert. I loved it so much that I bought the sister to the watch, the 116610 LV Hulk, in 2018. I love these two pieces a lot. They are by far the watches I wear the most. Both have awesome features, and I view them as special tributes to their models and the overall brand. Next up, I purchased a Jaeger LeCoultre Master Control 8-day perpetual calendar. New at a steep discount. This watch immediately became my most valuable piece to me personally. I love it for its intelligence and mechanical superiority. To think that this will tell the time day, time, date, day, month, year, and moon phase with the precise accuracy for the next 100 years is outstanding. All I have to do is to wind it every day, 8 days, which is a pleasure as it connects me with the piece. It hasn't stopped since I received it. Someday these watches will all go to my son, but I think this may be the coolest because it will, in a way, live in way beyond me, even though it has no microchips and is extremely intelligent. Then in 2020, I consulted with you personally on this next installment to the current collection. You gave me the deal, high marks. You even did so in a video, which I loved. So I went ahead and purchased the Patek 5227G for a little over 20,000 from the shady dealer. But what can I say? It's amazing. Officer's case back, cream finish, white gold. Clearly my most cherished piece. I go out of my way to wear a suit when wearing a watch. It puts me in a mood for success. Lastly, I picked up a Halcyon Speedy before they changed the models. I wear it overnight, every night. It's my everyday watch. I look at it and think of everything going wrong for those guys coming back from Apollo mission. Mad how they use this to make it. It inspires me to find solutions to problems. First, what do you think of this collection? I have always been curious of your opinion. Okay. Okay, so what do I think of this collection here? I tell you what, there is a backstory. I love the backstory. I love the collection. Let's face it there. We have got some really heavy hitting. We've got 2 Rolex. We've got the Hulk and the Batman. We have got 2 really cool horology type pieces in the Patek and the JLC. We've got 2 killer sports watches, which is the IWC and the Man on the Moon. And we've got 2 Breitlings, which give us a real quest for life flavor here. So what do I think of it? I think it's an amazing collection. It's a great collection. Nice mix, good brands. It's sort of like a box of all sorts. But it's not overdone in one area. It's not like we got stuck with the strawberry creams. We've got a nougat crunch. We got chocolate. We got a nice selection here. So that's good. So what do I think of it? I like it. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. It's a good collection. Number 2. I'm expecting a Vacheron Constantin overseas in blue very shortly from the boutique. What is your opinion of this watch? It will not require me to sell anything. I would purchase it new. What do I think of the Vacheron overseas in blue? Okay, he's talking the blue dial Vacheron. That's the 3rd gen. You know, the thing about Vacheron is they have some nice watches. The overseas is a great model. But why is the Gen 2 so much cheaper than the Gen 3? The blue dial is boutique only. You know what? I kind of think it's bullshit. The way Vacheron has sort of made scarcity in it. Does he need a Vacheron? Look, I think a Vacheron overseas would fit in really nice. I think a Vacheron is very nice, but I don't like paying the high whack for the price. And for that sort of money, I think, to be honest with you, do you have to have the Vacheron? I think you've got a nice mix already. Would I get the Vacheron? The Vacherons they are very popular. They're a kind of would I get the Vacheron? I think you're paying high for it. Okay, I'm just very cautious. Patek and Rolex, that's Rolex is the brand I would be buying more of, like an Explorer 2 but putting it into a Vacheron, that's a lot of money, and I'm just concerned. So let me express my concern. It's a great watch, it's beautiful. See, the sweet spot for me would be to buy a pre-owned Gen 2. Gen 2 overseas. Is it that inferior? I kind of think that's I look for the bargain. And question 3 is, I really love the Patek 5396. This watch is the epitome of class and design. That's the Patek Philippe annual calendar, the white gold one, white gold. However, it will require me to sell the JLC in order to acquire it. I have a deal on the table for a trade-in on the pre-owned 5396 for my JLC. The Patek is priced at $39.5. US recently serviced box and papers. Where does this deal get done? What should I expect on the trade-in, and what is the right price for the Patek? Perhaps you can reflect on this and let me know where I should. What should I do now, Arch? I've caught the Patek bug and I fear there is no going back. He very kindly sent me a really nice donation. You are my pontiff. Tell me what to do. Now, I actually did talk to him. I spoke to him about this. Thank you. And that was for Charles. What my advice to him was, I'm just looking at my notes here because I said, look, what you want to do, Charles, is it's very simple. Don't fall in love with the new piece. What you've got to do is look at the money, because it's all about the moolah. It's all about the money. That's what we're discussing here. So what is the money? What is the money? Where are we going there? And I kind of said to you, what I'd do is jump on Chrono 24 and I would pull up the watches itself there. I would see what is that JLC going for, and what is the JLC going for, and what is the other piece, the Patek, going for. And we did that, and we kind of thought what the dealer was offering was a little bit skinny. It was a little bit, he was kind of giving us wholesale and selling at retail. You know, I kind of, and I told him this. I said, it's very easy to look at the figures and would I do it? I think I actually said to him, I said, if you can get a bit more out of the dealer, it's worth considering. A 5396 is a spectacular. It's probably, in my opinion, I think it's, okay, the 5205 is absolutely beautiful as well. That's another annual calendar. But I think it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a gorgeous Patek. And the only problem is when you trade in the JLC, you don't ever buy a JLC to trade in. Now the question is, what about instead of trading anything in, what about not buying the VC? Don't get the Vacheron and get the Patek. Wouldn't that'd be a much better idea? And the reason I say that is, when you've got a watch, sometimes it's better the devil you know than the devil you don't. If you trade it in, the dealer's always going to make money on you. It's like buying and selling a house. If you flip a house, you got a house, then you flip it, you buy another one, you're going to lose commission, and in Australia, stamp duty buying the new one, and legals and real estate costs. So every time you flip, you're losing some margin. So I really do think you should limit the number of trades you do, because you're losing equity in churning costs. Now, I would say I didn't say this to him on the time, but do you really need the VC if you can get the Patek? Because I would keep the JLC. If you're going to trade it in, they're always tricky deals, because the dealer wants to make profit. So I reckon you've got to try and limit. The best advice I can give you is try and limit what you flip in and flip out of, because every time you do it, you're losing money. And I've got to tell you, I recently bought a Tudor Black Bay. I bought it at a good price, brand new, from a friend who's a bit of a flipper. And sure enough, I wanted to get rid of it. I thought I'd get my money back. No, of course not. I lost 10%, which is painful, but hey, that's how it goes. So try to unnecessarily churn and burn. That's my advice. 5396, is it worth doing? To be honest with you, if you got a little bit more money, I think it's a much better watch. 5396 is super, it's a Patek. And it's also the 5396, I think it's got the most beautiful dial layout. It's a classical watch. I think I would try and do the deal. Normally I'd say don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, but I think it is a class above. So that's the advice. Guys, like, subscribe, tell your friends. I'm really interested to hear what your opinion is there. I'd like to hear your opinion. Put some comments below, and I will see you in the next one. Remember, guys, I can't survive on Google Ads alone. I do need paid reviews. The paid reviews make a big difference to me. Without the paid reviews, I really can't survive. $50 US for a paid review. Look in the description down below. And guys, I will see you in the next one.
Enemy. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. Feeling me, enemy. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. Feeling me, enemy. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. Feeling me, enemy. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck just wanna be a mini me. All these neck.
Like, subscribe, and tell your friends, and don't be afraid to get a paid review. $50 US for a paid review. It helps me stay full-time on YouTube, and I will see you in the next one. $50 US paid review. I can't survive on Google Ads. I need your support. And guys, you could also sponsor me on Patreon. Patreon allows you to pay as little as $1 a month to keep me on YouTube. Hey guys, ArchieLuxury. Who do I recommend for watches in Brisbane and Sydney? Vintage Watch Co. That's correct. Vintage Watch Co. in Brisbane Arcade in Brisbane and the Strand Arcade in Sydney. Vintage Watch Co. Brisbane and Sydney. Ronnie, I've known him since the late 90s. Ronnie is a top bloke. Luke is a great guy. Vintage Watch Co. That is who I recommend in Australia. Check out Vintage Watch Co. and the guys' amazing range of watches. They also do service and repairs. Vintage Watch Co. That is where the pontiff goes. You know, some of my Pateks came from Vintage Watch Co. That's right, guys. Vintage Watch Co.